Welcome back. Okay, today we're diving into a critique, looking at the public talk around Rachel Zegler, her career, the controversies, and her claim that Snow White is celebrated.
Right. Let's jump straight into the feedback.
Okay, first up, the analysis does a strong job identifying Zegler's narcissistic behavior as key to the controversy, but it could be clearer about how the media uses that specific flaw.
Yeah, I agree. The premise is solid, but are we spending maybe a bit too much time just proving the narcissism itself? Isn't the real point how the industry leverages it?
That's the risk, right? Focusing on terms like self-aggrandizing or delusional, it can feel a little reductive, even when the piece mentions things like tabloids needing clicks.
Exactly. Sometimes it feels like we're mixing up her intent with the media's incentive to, exploit her. They're related, but not the same thing.
So the stronger approach here might be to frame it differently. Define her personality not just as ego, but as a specific vulnerability that outlets like Glamour magazine, for instance, actively exploit.
Ah, okay. So it reinforces the critique of the media cycle itself. Less personal attack, more systemic analysis.
Precisely. That feels more sophisticated.
Right. So take that Glamour example. Comparing her to Princess Diana and the revenge dress. Huge hyperbole.
Huge. And the suggestion is, right after mentioning that, pivot immediately to the magazine's motive. Why make such an extreme comparison?
Okay, so show how Zegler may be falling for that comparison, or at least accepting it. That's the strategic failure. It's the bait.
Exactly. Rather than just saying, see, more evidence of her ego. It keeps the focus on the PR and media critique.
Got it. That sharpens the angle considerably.
Okay, moving on. That brings us neatly to the comparison with Brie Larson. It's a really effective counterpoint, but maybe it comes a bit late.
Oh, the Larson comparison is great, really effective. But yeah, why hold it back? It feels like it could anchor the whole strategic argument much earlier.
Right now, she's introduced later as someone who just wised up. But how she shifted her strategy, that's gold, Pure PR wisdom. We kind of gloss over the specifics.
So the suggestion is use Larson, the wise refuser, as the benchmark right from the start.
Yeah, measure Zegler, the active antagonizer, against her actions constantly. It creates this really clear two-track comparison. Success versus, not success in handling that controversy vortex.
And we should definitely use that specific Larson quote, where she refused to get drawn in.
Absolutely. You're trying to pull me into something that I don't want to be pulled into again, that moment.
Perfect. Because that's exactly what Zegler seems to fail at, right? When she keeps talking to tabloids about Snow White, even when she's got this West End success happening.
It makes the contrast immediate. You see Larson shut it down, and Zegler leans back in. Crystal clear difference in strategy.
Okay, yeah, integrating that earlier and more deliberately would make the core argument much stronger.
Definitely. Okay, third point. Let's look at the Snow White discussion. Specifically, the claim that being #1 on Disney Plus means it's celebrated.
Ah, yes. The analysis does a good job taking that apart, showing how new releases automatically hit #1 on streaming.
It does. The logic is sound. But the tone, maybe it could stay a bit more analytical?
You mean calling her statement one of the stupidest things?
Yeah, exactly. While the conclusion that the metric is meaningless for celebration is spot on, that kind of language feels very subjective, very emotional.
And it might undermine the objective, evidence-based rebuttal that follows? Like it weakens the authority?
Potentially, yeah. The suggestion here is just to maintain a strictly analytical tone when dismantling the logic. Stick to the facts, the counterexamples.
Right. The critique is inherently stronger when it's intellectually rigorous, not emotionally charged.
The data itself makes the...
Exactly. So, to prove the point that it's newness, not celebration, driving the metric, just use the examples already there.
Like Brave New World or Thunderbolts hitting #1? Precisely. Use those as direct, objective proof that hitting #1 on Disney Plus is just what happens. It's the default.
So the focus stays on the absurdity of using that metric rather than judging the speaker personally. Gives the analysis that authoritative edge.
Exactly right. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this critique. We've covered, 3 main areas for strengthening the analysis, which is already quite good, by the way.
Yeah, it's strong material. So, the big 3 takeaways again. First, really sharpen the connection between Zegler's personality as a vulnerability and how the media exploits it systemically.
Right. Second, bring that fantastic Brie Larson comparison forward. Make it essential, running benchmark for strategic success versus failure. Don't bury it.
And third, when tackling that Disney Plus claim, keep the tone strictly analytical. Let the facts and counterexamples dismantle the argument rather than using subjective labels. Stick to the absurdity of the metric.
Perfect summary. This is really insightful work already. Just needs those structural and tonal refinements to maximize its impact.
Agreed. So, refine the structure based on these points, tweak the tone there at the end, and definitely, please send the updated version back to us. We'd love to see how it evolves.